The Guild's introduction. In a galaxy filled with countless worlds and strange beings, there existed a powerful organization known as the Slaver Guild. This guild was notorious for its ruthless methods of capturing and trading intelligent life forms. It operated in the shadows, using fear and manipulation to control its targets. Among all the species in the galaxy, the guild had one target that intrigued them the most: humans. The leader of the guild was a cunning alien named Varnak. He was tall and thin, with green skin that shimmered under the light of his home planet, Grathos. Varnak had sharp, pointed ears and piercing red eyes that seemed to see right through you. He was known for his intelligence and his ability to manipulate those around him. He believed that knowledge was power, and he wanted to learn everything he could about humans. One day, Varnak gathered his top advisors in a dark room lit only by the glow of holographic screens. The walls were lined with trophies from different planets, a reminder of the guild's past successes. The room buzzed with anticipation as Varnak stood at the head of the table, his eyes glinting with excitement. "Today, we discuss a new mission," Varnak announced, his voice smooth and confident. "I have heard whispers that humans are becoming more influential in the galaxy. They are no longer the weak beings we once thought. It is time we gather intelligence on them." His advisors exchanged glances, some looking skeptical. One of them, a burly alien named Grathok, spoke up. "But humans are primitive. They lack the technology and skills of other species. Why should we waste our resources on them?" Varnak's expression hardened. "That is exactly the mindset that has led us to underestimate them. They have survived in hostile environments and shown incredible resilience. We must learn from them before we decide their fate." The room fell silent as the advisors considered Varnak's words. They had seen how humans could come together in times of crisis, how they supported one another despite their differences. Varnak continued, "I want a team of scouts to travel to Earth, observe their settlements, their culture, and their strengths. We need to understand what makes them tick." The idea of sending scouts to Earth excited Varnak. He envisioned a future where the guild could exploit human strengths for their gain. The more they understood, the better they could manipulate the humans to their advantage. As the meeting progressed, Varnak handpicked a group of scouts for the mission. He chose aliens from different planets, each with unique skills. Zira, a young scout with keen eyesight and quick reflexes, was among them. She was eager for adventure and wanted to prove herself. Zira had heard stories about humans and was curious to see them for herself. "You will depart tomorrow," Varnak instructed the group. "Gather as much information as you can. Look for weaknesses, but also note their strengths. We cannot afford to overlook anything." The scouts nodded, a mix of excitement and apprehension filling the air. They knew this mission could change the guild's perspective on humans forever. As they left the meeting room, Zira felt a flutter of anticipation in her stomach. She was determined to uncover the truth about humans and hoped her findings would impress Varnak. That night, as Zira prepared for the journey, she couldn't shake the feeling that humans might not be what the guild believed. She had heard tales of their bravery and kindness, and she wondered if the stories were true. She hoped to see for herself how humans lived and thrived in their world. The next morning, the scouts boarded their ship, a sleek vessel designed for speed and stealth. It hummed softly as it powered up, and Zira took a deep breath, feeling the thrill of adventure wash over her. The ship soared into the sky, leaving behind the dark planet of Grathos. As they traveled through the stars, Zira gazed out at the vastness of space, her heart racing with excitement. After hours of travel, they approached Earth. The blue planet glimmered with oceans and landmasses, its beauty breathtaking. Zira couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. This was where humans lived, a species the guild had underestimated for too long. As they descended, Zira felt a mix of fear and curiosity. What would they find? Would humans be as weak as the guild believed, or were they something much more complex? The ship landed in a remote area, far from any human settlements. The scouts disembarked, their senses heightened as they stepped onto the soft grass. Remember, Varnak had warned them, humans can be unpredictable. Stay alert, and do not engage unless necessary. Before anyone could answer, Corin made a bold decision. Let's show ourselves. We can't hide forever. With a deep breath, Zira nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. They slowly stepped out from behind the bushes, revealing themselves to the humans. The boys' eyes widened in awe, and the adults turned their heads, surprised by the sudden appearance of the alien scouts. Zira raised her hands, signaling peace. "We come in peace," she said in her best human language, a rough translation that she hoped they would understand. The humans looked stunned, and for a moment, silence hung in the air. Then the boy ran forward, excitement radiating from him. "Wow! Aliens, are you real?" Zira felt a wave of relief wash over her. The child's enthusiasm was infectious. "Yes, we are real," she replied, a smile breaking across her face. "We come from far away." The adults exchanged looks of surprise and concern, but the boy seemed undeterred. "Can you tell us about your home? Do you have spaceships? Can you fly?" Zira chuckled at the boy's eagerness. "Yes, we have spaceships, and we can fly through the stars," she said, feeling a sense of connection with the child. One of the adults, a tall woman with brown hair, stepped forward. "I'm sorry, but we have to be careful. We don't know if you come in peace or if you're here to harm us." Her voice was calm but firm. Zira understood her concern. "We promise we are not here to harm you. We want to learn about humans and your way of life." The adults relaxed slightly, but the tension remained. Zira felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps this encounter could lead to something valuable. The boy tugged at the woman's sleeve. "Can we show them around, please? I want to know more about them." The woman looked down at the boy, her expression softening. After a moment of consideration, she nodded. "Okay, but let's keep our distance for now." With cautious smiles, the humans began to gather around, eager to learn about their visitors from the stars. Zira felt a surge of excitement. This was the first step in understanding humans, and it was turning out to be much more than she had ever anticipated. As the sun shone brightly above, Zira realized that they were embarking on a new journey. The knowledge they would gain from these humans could change everything. Little did they know, this meeting was only the beginning of an incredible story that would unfold between the Slaver Guild and humanity. In turn, the humans shared their own stories, tales of adventure, of overcoming challenges, and of friendship. Zira learned of their history and how they had come together as a community to face hardships and thrive. Each story deepened her understanding of humanity. Finally, as the stars twinkled overhead, Zira felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had come to this place expecting danger and hostility, yet here she was, surrounded by warmth and laughter. Perhaps this was how peace could begin, through understanding and shared experiences. As the night drew to a close, Zira looked at her team, who were equally captivated by the humans. She knew they had crossed a threshold, one that would forever change their perception of humanity. The journey ahead was uncertain, but for the first time, she felt hope for the future. "Tomorrow," Zira announced, her voice filled with excitement, "let's explore more together. I want to learn everything about your world." Cheers erupted from the humans, and the laughter filled the air once more. Zira felt a new bond forming, one that would lead them all to unexpected adventures. Together, they would bridge the unexpected challenge. The morning sun peeked over the horizon, illuminating the human settlement with a soft, golden light. Zira woke up feeling a sense of excitement. Today was going to be special. As she stepped outside, the cool morning air filled her lungs, and she took a moment to appreciate the peaceful surroundings. Sam was already waiting for her outside the house. He waved enthusiastically. "Good morning, Zira. Are you ready for another adventure?" Zira smiled back, feeling a warmth in her heart. "Absolutely. What do you have planned for today?" "I thought we could go to the training grounds. You can see how we practice for sports and other challenges, Sam explained, pouncing on his feet with excitement. Zira glanced back at Corin and the others, who were just waking up. She could see the same enthusiasm mirrored on their faces. "Let's go then," Zira said, her voice filled with determination. As they made their way to the training grounds, Zira couldn't help but admire the vibrant life around her. Children played in the fields, and the sounds of laughter echoed in the air. It was a stark contrast to her home world, where survival often took precedence over joy. Upon reaching the training grounds, Zira was amazed. The area was spacious, filled with various equipment and obstacles. Several human youths were practicing, their movements energetic and lively. Zira noticed they were not just practicing for sports. They seemed to be honing their skills for other, more serious challenges. "Welcome to our training grounds," Sam announced proudly. "Here, we train for sports, but we also prepare for competitions that test our strength and strategy." Zira watched as a group of older boys engaged in a mock battle, using padded sticks to simulate combat. Their laughter and shouts filled the air as they clashed, showcasing their teamwork and skill. Zira's heart raced with excitement. This was an opportunity for her and her team to learn about human strategy and combat techniques. "Can we join?" Corin asked, stepping forward with curiosity. "Of course," one of the older boys replied, grinning. "The more, the merrier." Zira exchanged glances with her team, who nodded in agreement. They were ready to dive into this new experience. The humans divided into two teams, and Zira found herself on a team with Sam and a few other children. They were excited to have the aliens join them. Zira felt a mixture of nerves and eagerness. This was a chance to understand how humans approached competition and teamwork. "Okay, let's make it fair," one of the older boys said. "You guys can use your skills from your planet, and we'll show you how we do it here." Zira's heart swelled with determination. She would show them the strength of her people. "Let's do it," she replied confidently. As the mock battle began, Zira quickly realized that humans were incredibly resourceful. They moved swiftly, utilizing the environment to their advantage. Zira admired their agility and strategic thinking. During the battle, Zira found herself facing off against one of the older boys. He charged at her with a padded stick, and she sidestepped gracefully, using her training from home to dodge his strike. The boy stumbled, and Zira seized the moment to tap him lightly on the shoulder with her own stick. "Got you," she called out, grinning. The boy laughed, getting up and giving her a thumbs up. "Nice move. You're really good at this." Encouraged by the compliment, Zira felt more at ease. She continued to engage in the mock battle, showcasing her skills. She used her agility to evade attacks while planning her own strikes. The humans cheered her on, their excitement building as they fought together. But then, things took a surprising turn. An older, more competitive boy named Blake, who had been watching from the sidelines, decided to join in. "This is just a game, right?" he shouted, a competitive glint in his eye. "Let's see how strong the aliens really are." Zira felt a rush of adrenaline. She had already gained respect from the other humans, but she knew Blake's challenge would be tougher. He was known for being competitive and skilled. "Let's do this," she replied, determination shining in her eyes. As the two faced off, Zira focused on his movements, ready to react. Blake lunged at her with swift strikes, and Zira dodged and parried, using her agility to stay one step ahead. The crowd cheered as the match intensified, and Zira could feel the energy surging around them. But then, Blake made a feint, tricking Zira into thinking he would swing low. Instead, he swung high, catching her off guard. The padded stick tapped her shoulder, marking her as out. The crowd went silent, and Zira's heart sank. As the tournament began, Zira and her friends lined up at the starting line, hearts pounding with anticipation. They could see their opponents, a mix of humans and aliens, stretching and preparing for the challenge ahead. The announcer called for attention, and everyone turned to listen. Welcome to the annual tournament, the announcer boomed. Today, we will witness incredible displays of teamwork, strategy, and skill. Let the games begin. With that, the first round started. The teams raced toward various challenges scattered around the training grounds, each station designed to test their abilities. Zira felt a surge of adrenaline as they dashed forward, her heart racing with excitement. Their first challenge involved climbing over a wall and then crawling through a series of tunnels. Zira was quick to scale the wall, her agile movements surprising the spectators. Sam followed closely behind, his strong hands pushing him up effortlessly. Corin's sharp thinking came in handy as he guided them through the tunnels, ensuring they didn't get lost. As they emerged from the tunnels, they saw their first flag in the distance. It was guarded by another team, who were ready to defend it fiercely. Zira felt a rush of determination. "We can do this," she encouraged her team, rallying them to push forward. They formulated their plan quickly. Zira and Corin would create a distraction while Sam made a dash for the flag. As they approached the other team, Zira executed a series of quick movements, darting left and right to draw attention. Corin added to the confusion by calling out different signals, making it hard for the opponents to focus. "Now, Sam," Zira shouted. Sam charged forward with all his strength, surprising the other team. He sprinted towards the flag, grasping it just as Zira and Corin drew the opponent's attention away. Cheers erupted from their teammates as Sam raised the flag high above his head. "First point for us," Sam shouted, his face beaming with joy. With their confidence boosted, they continued through the tournament, taking on various challenges that tested their skills in new ways. They faced obstacle courses, puzzle-solving tasks, and even team-building exercises that required them to think quickly. Zira noticed how well they were learning from each challenge, adjusting their strategies as they went along. However, as the tournament progressed, they faced tougher opponents. One team stood out. The members were known for their fierce competition and exceptional skills. Zira felt a sense of tension as they prepared to face them. "We have to be smart about this," Corin advised. "They are strong, but we can outmaneuver them if we work together." "Let's stick to our plan," Zira added. "We can do this if we trust each other." As the final round approached, Zira felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She looked around at her friends, Sam, Corin, and the others, who were all focused and ready for the challenge ahead. They had come so far together, and no matter the outcome, she felt proud of their growth. The announcer called for the final match, and Zira's heart raced. "This is it," she whispered to herself, taking a deep breath to steady her nerves. The final challenge was a mix of all they had learned: speed, teamwork, and strategy. Zira felt the thrill of the moment wash over her, and she knew they were ready to face anything that came their way. Together, they would show the other teams what they were made of, proving that humans and aliens could achieve greatness when united. With that thought in her mind, Zira took her place at the starting line, ready for the challenge that lay ahead. She was ready to fight for her team, her friends, and their newfound bond. This tournament was about much more than victory. It was about the journey they had shared and the friendships they had built along the way. As the tournament began, Zira and her friends lined up at the starting line, hearts pounding with anticipation. They could see their opponents, a mix of humans and aliens, stretching and preparing for the challenge ahead. The announcer called for attention, and everyone turned to listen. "Welcome to the annual tournament," the announcer boomed. "Today, we will witness incredible displays of teamwork, strategy, and skill. Let the games begin." With that, the first round started. The teams raced toward various challenges scattered around the training grounds, each station designed to test their abilities. Zira felt a surge of adrenaline as they dashed forward, her heart racing with excitement. Their first challenge involved climbing over a wall and then crawling through a series of tunnels. Zira was quick to scale the wall, her agile movements surprising the spectators. Sam followed closely behind, his strong hands pushing him up effortlessly. Corin's sharp thinking came in handy as he guided them through the tunnels, ensuring they didn't get lost. As they emerged from the tunnels, they saw their first flag in the distance. It was guarded by another team, who were ready to defend it fiercely. Zira felt a rush of determination. "We can do this," she encouraged her team, rallying them to push forward. They formulated their plan quickly. Zira and Corin would create a distraction while Sam made a dash for the flag. As they approached the other team, Zira executed a series of quick movements, darting left and right to draw attention. Corin added to the confusion by calling out different signals, making it hard for the opponents to focus. "Now, Sam," Zira shouted. Sam charged forward with all his strength, surprising the other team. He sprinted towards the flag, grasping it just as Zira and Corin drew the opponent's attention away. Cheers erupted from their teammates as Sam raised the flag high above his head. "First point for us," Sam shouted, his face beaming with joy. With their confidence boosted, they continued through the tournament, taking on various challenges that tested their skills in new ways. They faced obstacle courses, puzzle-solving tasks, and even team-building exercises that required them to think quickly. Zira noticed how well they were learning from each challenge, adjusting their strategies as they went along. However, as the tournament progressed, they faced tougher opponents. One team stood out. The members were known for their fierce competition and exceptional skills. Zira felt a sense of tension as they prepared to face them. "We have to be smart about this," Corin advised. "They are strong, but we can outmaneuver them if we work together." "Let's stick to our plan," Zira added. "We can do this if we trust each other." As the final round approached, Zira felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She looked around at her friends, Sam, Corin, and the others, who were all focused and ready for the challenge ahead. They had come so far together, and no matter the outcome, she felt proud of their growth. The announcer called for the final match, and Zira's heart raced. "This is it," she whispered to herself, taking a deep breath to steady her nerves. The final challenge was a mix of all they had learned: speed, teamwork, and strategy. Zira felt the thrill of the moment wash over her, and she knew they were ready to face anything that came their way. Together, they would show the other teams what they were made of, proving that humans and aliens could achieve greatness when united. With that thought in her mind, Zira took her place at the starting line, ready for the challenge that lay ahead. She was ready to fight for her team, her friends, and her newfound bond. This tournament was about much more than victory. It was about the journey they had shared and the friendships they had built along the way. The final challenge. The air was thick with anticipation as Zira and her team gathered at the starting line for the final challenge of the tournament. Zira felt a mix of excitement and nervousness coursing through her. This was the moment they had trained for, the culmination of their hard work and teamwork. The spectators, a mix of students and teachers, watched eagerly, their eyes sparkling with interest. As the announcer's voice boomed over the loudspeakers, Zira took a deep breath. "Welcome to the final challenge of the tournament. This is a test of speed, strategy, and teamwork. Only one team can emerge victorious." The opposing team stood across from them, a fierce group known as the Vortex Crew. They were notorious for their skill and competitiveness. Zira glanced at Sam and Corin, seeing determination in their eyes. They had worked hard to get to this point, and she was ready to give it her all. "Remember our plan," Zira reminded her team. "Stick together, communicate, and trust each other." The announcer raised his hand, signaling the start of the challenge. 3, 2, 1, go. With that, Zira sprinted forward, her heart pounding in her chest. The course was set up like an obstacle course, with walls to climb, ropes to swing from, and puzzles to solve. They had to work together to overcome each challenge and reach the final flag before the Vortex Crew. Zira led the way to the first obstacle, a tall wall that they had practiced scaling many times. She leaped into action, grabbing onto the edges and pulling herself up with determination. Behind her, Sam followed closely, his strength allowing him to scale the wall quickly. "Come on, Corin. You got this," Zira shouted, encouraging their friend. Corin took a deep breath and climbed after them, his movements steady and confident. As they reached the top, Zira scanned the area for the next challenge. It was a rope swing that led to a platform across a gap. "We need to time this perfectly," she said, glancing at Sam and Corin. "On my count." They positioned themselves at the edge of the platform. 1, 2, 3. Zira shouted, and they all jumped, swinging across the gap together. Zira felt the thrill of the wind rushing past her as they flew through the air. They landed successfully on the other side, adrenaline pumping through their veins. "Nice job," Sam cheered, and they high-fived each other before moving on to the next challenge, a series of puzzles that required teamwork and communication. The puzzles were designed to test their problem-solving skills. As they faced the first one, Zira felt a wave of uncertainty. The puzzle was intricate, with pieces that needed to be aligned in a specific order. "Okay, everyone, let's figure this out together," she suggested, focusing on the task at hand. Corin studied the puzzle, his brow furrowed in concentration. "I think this piece goes here," he said, pointing to a section of the puzzle. Sam chimed in. "And this one fits next to it. We need to work fast before the other team catches up." With everyone contributing ideas, they quickly aligned the pieces, and within moments, the puzzle clicked into place. A cheer erupted from their team as they completed the challenge. "Great job, team. Let's keep going," Zira shouted, feeling the surge of confidence boost their spirits. They raced to the next obstacle, where they faced a maze filled with barriers. As they entered the maze, Zira reminded everyone to stay close. "Stick together. We can't afford to get separated in here." They navigated the maze, with Zira leading the way. They encountered dead ends and had to backtrack, but they communicated effectively, helping each other find the right path. Suddenly, they heard the Vortex crew behind them, their voices echoing as they closed in. Zira felt a surge of determination. "We can't let them catch up. Let's move faster." They pushed forward, adrenaline fueling their movements. Finally, they spotted the exit, a glimmer of light shining through. Zira's heart raced as they burst through the maze and onto the final challenge, a field where the last flag was located. But the Vortex crew was already there, fiercely defending the flag. Zira glanced at Sam and Corin, their expressions showing the same determination. "This is it," she said. "We need to create a distraction so we can get that flag." "On 3, we charge in different directions," Sam suggested, his eyes focused on the flag. "I'll create a diversion." Zira nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. 1, 2, 3. They all sprang into action. Sam ran toward the left, shouting and waving his arms to draw attention. Meanwhile, Zira and Corin darted to the right, using the element of surprise to their advantage. Zira's heart raced as she sprinted forward, her eyes locked on the flag. The Vortex crew was momentarily distracted, giving her the opening she needed. Corin moved in sync with her, coordinating their movements. Just as Zira reached for the flag, a member of the Vortex crew spotted her and lunged forward. In a split second, Zira dodged to the side, her agility saving her from being caught. "Corin, now," she yelled. Corin rushed forward, grabbing the flag with a triumphant shout. Zira felt a wave of exhilaration as the crowd erupted in cheers. They had done it. As Corin held the flag high above his head, Zira and Sam rushed to his side, grinning from ear to ear. "We won," Zira exclaimed, disbelief and joy flooding her heart. The announcer's voice boomed over the crowd. "And the winners of this year's tournament are Zira, Sam, Corin, and their amazing team." Zira's heart swelled with pride. They had faced challenges together, overcome obstacles, and built lasting friendships. This tournament had not only tested their skills, but had also brought them closer as a team. As they celebrated with their friends, Zira knew this experience would stay with her forever. They had shown that with teamwork, trust, and determination, anything was possible. Together, they had proven that they could achieve greatness, and she couldn't wait to see where their journey would lead them next.